Her voice still lingers in my mind, as vivid as if it were echoing off the walls of the home we once shared. She told me, almost casually, that friendship outweighed love. The words floated out lightly, nearly dismissive, her face dimly lit by the glow of her phone. Behind her, the laughter of her friend spilled into the room, carefree and unbothered. It wasn't just the words that hurt. It was the careless way she said them, the way her eyes stayed fixed on her screen, as though I was already fading into the background of her life. I didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't even ask her to rethink her priorities. I simply froze, listening to the steady tick of the clock drowning out her voice. When the silence between us became unbearable, I made a choice she never expected. I started packing. That same night, I walked out, without a note, without slamming the door, without a single word. And I wasn't just leaving her. I was leaving behind a man who had accepted her excuses, her half-truths, her indifference. I was stepping away from a version of myself who had loved her far more than she had ever earned. We had shared 7 years together, 3 of those tied by marriage. To the outside world, we looked perfect. Sparkling chemistry, effortless smiles. And for a while, it was real. For a while, she was mine and I was hers. But then her friends arrived, a hand-picked group that thrived on drama and attention. They weren't true friends. They were spectators, circling like vultures, waiting for cracks to show. And she welcomed them in. Every intimate moment, every argument, every weakness. She handed it all over to them, often before I even knew myself. I should have seen the signs sooner. The late nights out, the sudden secrecy, the guarded phone she treated like a classified file. But love has a way of wrapping red flags in velvet, convincing you to believe everything's fine, until the moment it isn't. That night, when she spoke those words, I didn't just suspect anymore. I knew. She had chosen them long before she admitted it. Her loyalty wasn't mine. I had already glimpsed their group chats, their hidden laughter at my expense. She had forgotten to mute the photos where I was the punchline. Through their eyes, I saw how they saw me, an inconvenience, a joke, the overly serious husband who didn't play their shallow games. And the worst part? She laughed along with them. My wife, my partner, my betrayer. The anger burned hot, but beneath it was something sharper, clarity. Anger shouts, clarity whispers. And that whisper told me, don't fight, don't argue, don't warn her. Just leave. Let her deal with the aftermath. So I did exactly that. Within days, I had settled into an apartment she knew nothing about, one I had lined up during my work trips almost instinctively, as though I'd always known this moment was coming. Untangling our finances was easy. I had accounts she never knew existed. She thought herself clever, boasting to her friends about her tiny savings, unaware that her entire lifestyle, our home, her comforts, her luxuries, was all built on resources she'd lose the moment I stepped away. A call to the bank, a withdrawal from our joint account, a quick word with a lawyer friend. By the time she realized I was gone, her cards were useless. I didn't block her. That would have been too easy. I left the door ajar, let her walk straight into the emptiness I'd left behind. She didn't come right away. Pride kept her away for 3 days. But then, as expected, she showed up with her entourage, arriving like they were marching to a victory. From my balcony, I watched them spill out of their cars, their laughter forced, her voice louder than the rest, straining to cover her unease. I let them knock. I let them shout my name. I let them pound on the door. When the banging turned frantic, I opened it, calm, composed, dressed in a suit, as if I were about to host a business meeting instead of showdown. The shock on her face, quickly replaced by fury, was worth every sleepless night. You can't just walk away like that, she snapped, her friends hovering behind her like backup singers. I already did. I answered, my voice steady. You're pathetic, one of them sneered. I turned to her. No, pathetic is living off a man you mock. Pathetic is swearing loyalty to people who will scatter the moment the drinks run dry. Pathetic, I said, locking eyes with my wife, is mistaking fleeting company for love and realizing too late what really mattered. Her face went pale. Her friends shifted uncomfortably. Their laughter died. Then I gave her the final blow. By the way, I said, lifting an envelope from the table, the divorce papers are filed. Check your mail. And since everything was in my name, maybe one of your friends can offer you a couch for a while. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. Her eyes darted to her friends, but none stepped forward. None offered her support. One by one, they shrank back, realizing performance was over. Her lips trembled as if she wanted to speak, but no words came. I closed the door, slowly, gently, as though sealing her out of my life forever. Of course, she tried to claw her way back. Calls, emails, even apologies. But apologies born from desperation mean nothing. She wasn't sorry. She was stranded. Her friends vanished once the free dinners and weekends disappeared, their bond evaporating like smoke. And she was left with nothing but the echoes of her choices. I didn't revel in it. Revenge isn't fireworks or champagne. It's the quiet that comes after, the silence left when chaos burns out. Sometimes, her words drift back into my memory. Friendship comes first. Love can wait. They'll be there when you're gone. And every time I smile, because she was right. They were there, just long enough to watch her crumble. I didn't need to scream or fight or prove anything. I just walked away. And in my absence, she destroyed herself. Justice doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes in silence,